Hello you guys and welcome back to my channel. I am filming this footage for the second time because my computer has decided to delete what I filmed a couple of weeks ago. So I'm going to try and remember everything that I had said. But essentially this video is going to be our house buying and selling process. So lots of people watched our new build move vlog and I love watching things like that online, and I know nothing about this process of buying and selling a house. I've bought a house before, but the whole having another house to sell, chain thing, I have no idea how that works. So this is going to be a real learning experience. So the footage that I had filmed was filmed the day before we did our first house viewings. So we viewed a few different houses on that first day. It was a Saturday and it was very much an information gathering experience, and we weren't expecting to find anything that we really liked that day. We were viewing 3 houses, one of which we knew would need loads and loads of work, and we're open to that. When it comes to finding the right house, we're open to doing a bit of work to it, but obviously it's got to be the right kind of price if we're going to have to do loads of work on top of it. So the first one we knew would be loads of work. The second one we were anticipating being, you know, a kind of middling amount of work that was needed. And the third one was pretty much ready to go. So yeah, I basically filmed a bit of an update telling you guys that we were going to be viewing some houses. Our house was also getting ready to go on the market. So we'd found an estate agent for our house. We'd had a valuation, or we were due to have an evaluation done. So that's now been done. So all very exciting. It feels like a process that I am totally unfamiliar with. I don't really know what steps go in what order, and I'm sure that there are going to be things that I learn on the way. And actually a lot of the things that I have learned about this process I've learned by watching videos like this. So I really hope that you guys find it interesting. I really hope that you find it helpful if you are in a similar position. I don't know where this video is going to end, because at the moment we don't know what we're going to move into. We don't know who's going to buy our house. It is a completely alien process, and I don't know where the end of this video will be, but that's quite exciting, as well as being really daunting. But yeah, my computer decided to delete the footage that I filmed a couple of weeks ago right at the start of the process. I have been filming some footage since, which is going to follow this, and I will keep you posted as we go, but I really hope you enjoy the video. Good morning you guys, it is Monday morning. I wanted to touch base with you guys after the viewings that we had at the weekend. Excuse this. I had a night shift over the weekend and I'm still feeling completely knackered. I wanted to touch base with you because the house viewings that we had were actually much more productive than I thought they were going to be. So I think I mentioned that we were viewing 3 houses, all kind of with varying amounts of work that needed doing. I think I was expecting the 3rd house to actually be really promising, and it was, but it was nothing in comparison to the 2nd house that we viewed, which has blown us both away. I don't think we were expecting to seriously consider anything the first day of viewing things, but we're seriously considering it. We've asked for a second viewing, and I just wanted to kind of share the process because this is brand new to me in terms of the viewing stuff on the market and how we go about offering on things and how that whole process works. So I thought I'd try and film the process and share it with you guys. So yeah, gonna try and have a second viewing on that house. I don't know if there's any other offers on the table. I've called our mortgage advisor this morning because I don't know how the next bit works. So he's gonna call me back, so I'm gonna have a chat with him. I've also called the agent who's selling our house, not because I need to do anything with that, but just because it's going on the market next week. So need to kind of sign a load of paperwork and stuff to do with that. But yeah, I'm getting a call back at some point this morning from the agent selling this house that we like, and they're going to confirm they were going to contact the seller this morning and just see what the score is regarding second viewings and all of that. I think we're going to try and take my mum along to give us a bit of input. It's just, it blew us away. We were walking around just going, I can't believe we could live here. And it may well be that this is the start of an incredibly long journey where we find things we like and we offer on them, or we don't offer on them, or we get outbid or whatever. But I thought I would share it because it's the first time that we've had this situation where we've gone to see houses, where we've seen something that we really like. So yeah, not entirely sure where we go from here, but I'm going to be learning. I think it's going to be a really steep learning curve. I don't know what we do if someone else has offered, or if they're not going to give us a second viewing because we're technically not proceedable, because our house isn't on the market yet, but it will be next week. I don't know if we just offer anyway, because apparently an offer isn't legally, but don't quote me on this, apparently an offer is not legally binding. I assume it's not until you exchange. I don't know. Yeah, not sure what the score is. Really tentatively excited that we found something that we like so much. It does need a little bit of work, but actually in the spectrum of the things that we saw on Saturday, I thought the first one was going to need loads of work, the second one was going to need quite a bit of work, and the third one was going to need less work. Actually, looking at them, going to see them, the first one was too much work. It basically needed the whole house ripping out. Not going to happen. The second one needs a little bit of work, and the third one, actually you could live in straight away, but long term it needs quite a bit doing to it. So it kind of wasn't a progression of work in terms of actually the house that we really like. It needs a little bit, but not anything major, and we can live in it straight away. I don't know where we go from here, but we're gonna see. I will keep you posted because I'm not entirely sure. I'm like completely in the dark here because I don't know what this process entails. I'm going to do a little bit of reading, but I'm also going to speak to the mortgage advisor because he knows a lot more about where we go from here, because we don't even have like, I assume you don't get an agreement in principle until you know roughly what you're going to be paying for a house. I don't know how this works. It's going to be a steep learning curve, but it's exciting. And I'm trying to manage my expectations because I know that, you know, house searches, actually you end up potentially offering on quite a few different things, and offers get declined, or people, you know, offer more than you can afford, or that you should be paying for the house. And I'm kind of preparing myself for that situation, but also feeling quite excited that we have found something that we like so much so early on in our search. And I mean, my wedding dress was the first one I tried on. I tried on loads more, but my wedding dress was the first dress that I tried on. So maybe it's just going to work like that. It's going to be the thing that we saw on the first day. I don't know. It's exciting and scary, and I feel completely underprepared, but we're going to get there. But I'll share and see where we go from here. Hello you guys, so I just wanted to touch base with you super quickly. I have to wake Evie up in about 3 minutes, but I just wanted to let you know about the second viewing that we had on the house that we saw the other day. I've just got back from it. I'm gutted, actually. Really gutted, because the house itself is perfect. It's such a beautiful house, but there are issues with the house in terms of the garden and the access that unfortunately just don't work with family life. So it feels like we found an amazing house that's just on the wrong bit of land, and because of that we aren't going to be able to buy it, because there is so much risk involved in terms of the garden, because it's very steep and it's got quite steep steps and things. It's not kind of child appropriate, and the access that you can't park. It's not even that you can't park outside the front door, it's a good couple of minutes walk at least to where we potentially might be able to get some street parking. I don't know how that works with kids and doing the big shop, and like the example my mum used was like, if you've just been to Tesco's and it's pissing it down with rain, what do? Leave Evie in the car and then carry the shopping in the rain, and it's like a good few minutes walk to the house to then go back. Like there's no logistical way of doing that, or there is a logistical way of doing it, but it's difficult, and it's a compromise in the way that we live our life that's a difficult compromise to make. And obviously we're very privileged to be in a position where we can say, you know, oh, I'd like a driveway, and I understand how very privileged that is and how lucky we are to even be in a position where we can buy, because the market is so difficult and getting on the market is so difficult, and the cost of living, and I fully acknowledge it's a very first world problem. But yeah, for those of you who are interested in that, how that second viewing went, we love the house. It's absolutely perfect as a house, but we are not going to buy it because it doesn't work for the stage of life that we're in, which is annoying. But we have another viewing this evening, for a house we haven't seen. This is actually one of the agents that we saw on Saturday who rang and said, look, I think this house is perfect for you. And I actually think he's totally nailed the brief. I think any house is going to look small in comparison to the house that we've just seen again today, because it was a very big, spacious house. So that's my concern, and I think there's probably going to be a bit of work that this house needs doing, not immediately, but in, you know, the next kind of year or two. We'd probably want to do a loft conversion. So just need to have a look at the logistics of that. But the garden and the plot and the location, in terms of it's right by a big green space that we can walk Murphy, it ticks a lot of boxes. So fingers crossed. Hello you guys, it is now Saturday, April 6th. I wanted to touch base with you because things with house buying have moved forward a bit. We went away to Cornwall for the week over Easter, came back and did the second viewing on Wednesday. And I spent most of Wednesday ringing loft conversion people. Sorry, I'm off a night. Ringing loft conversion people and log burner people, because the house has a log burner, and I think if you do the loft conversion we'll have to remove the chimney, and I needed to learn how much these things would cost us in theory. So yeah, we did the second viewing, we love the house, and on Thursday morning we made an offer. We have offered a bit under the asking price, so we're just going to see what happens. So basically we called the I was actually at work, Matt called the estate agent and made an offer, and we're just kind of waiting to hear back. It's now Saturday, so it's been a few days. The estate agent did say that they hadn't just turned around and said no, do better, which is kind of what I was expecting, because we offered a bit under the asking. Yeah, that'll be interesting to see what their response is, because they haven't just turned around and said that we've offered too low. I don't think they're going to accept it. I think they might come back with a counter offer, so we can then do a bit of negotiating, which would be good. I'm really hoping we're the only people bidding for it or offering for it, because I really don't want to enter into a bidding war for it, because I think we would lose just financially. But yeah, it's been really, really exciting. It's quite daunting just because we know that we would immediately do this loft conversion. So trying to kind of figure that in from both looking at the house and knowing it's right for us perspective, but also from a financial perspective, and trying to plan for that in advance when actually you know there's going to be hidden costs. And actually, if you, even things like, I hadn't thought about the fact that when you're working out if you can afford a house and what to offer for a house, very much depends on what you get for your own house. So if that's on the market, you know what you put it on the market for, but you don't actually know what you're going to get for it. So there's like a swing of like, I don't know, if someone offered 15, 20 grand under our asking price, for example, and we were in a position where we decided to accept that, and then we ended up pushing our budget a little bit on this house, there's a swing of like 30 grand. I mean, I know it's not legally binding and things, and you can pull out, but it's hard to know what's affordable. I suppose you've just got to not completely kill yourself in terms of stretching yourself, but it's hard. So yeah, very twitched about the fact that we're still waiting to hear, because I'm not a patient person, but I'm anticipating we will hear on Monday, and then I'm anticipating they're going to say no, but that, you know, they would welcome another offer. So we'll see. Really exciting. It's such a lovely, lovely house. We've just started talking to solicitors as well. A couple came highly recommended by the mortgage company, so I think we're probably going to go with one of them. So I got some quotes and things over the last couple of days. Turns out it's really expensive to do a house sale and purchase. I think in my head I thought it would just be kind of a little bit more expensive than just doing the purchase, because we've done that before. It's quite a lot more expensive, and the sale part is really like a lot more than buying. I think maybe it's the other way around. One of them's much more expensive than the other in terms of legal fees, obviously, like excluding things like stamp duty. Obviously stamp duty is expensive, but the actual paying the lawyer part, yeah, wasn't expecting that. So that's been interesting. I'm trying to think if there's anything else to update you on regarding house stuff. We were meant to have another viewing on we were meant to have a viewing on another house on Monday, but they rang and said that they couldn't do it, and so I think it's kind of fate saying just sit and wait and see. Not that we're kind of not looking at the market and just putting all our eggs in one basket, but we weren't overly enamoured with this house that we were going to see. I think we were just going to see it because it was in budget, it wasn't really in the right area, and it didn't really have the right things in the house that we needed, and it wasn't something where we could have done the work to get what we needed. So yeah, it was just, I think we probably might leave that one. There's a few things come on the market, but nothing significant at the moment, so I think we've just got to hope that this offer comes through. But yeah, all very daunting, very exciting. We shall see. Hello you guys, so another little update on the house buying offer situation. So we have finally heard back. We actually heard back on Saturday afternoon because I contacted the estate agent, kind of chased it a little bit, and the end of the day on Saturday they came back and they said that the seller is not refusing our offer, although there will probably be negotiations, but they don't want to enter into negotiations right now because we don't have a buyer for our house. We don't have an offer on our house. So they want us to be more proceedable than we are before they enter into negotiations. I think Matt and I are a little bit gutted because obviously with that kind of time frame, it's going to probably be at least a few weeks before we're in that position with our house, by which point this house may have sold. So we've got to kind of just cross our fingers, wait and see. We really, really like the house. We really, really want to buy the house. That's why we've offered on the house. So we're a bit gutted that they don't want to negotiate and then, you know, give us a couple of weeks or whatever. I don't really know if it's a fairly standard thing to do or not, but so we basically have sent an email across today saying that, you know, yeah, that's absolutely fine, and of course we respect their opinion. We would like to negotiate with them, but if they don't want to do that, that's fine. So I've basically sent an email introducing ourselves to the sellers and just trying to, I think basically trying to make a good impression, because if we are going to have to kind of just hope that they don't sell it to someone else in the next few weeks, I want us to be memorable. And I don't really know if that's a standard thing or not, but we like the house. We want to work with these people on buying their house and enter into a kind of, I suppose, a working relationship with them. So I've sent an email across today to the estate agent and they have forwarded it on to the sellers, just basically saying, you know, we're really keen, we'd like to negotiate with you. If you want to wait, we absolutely respect that, and we will hopefully have an offer on our house soon. I've let them know a bit of information about what it is that we're selling and what the kind of setup is, because obviously it's in a different area of the country. Yeah, just kind of trying to make a good impression, I guess. I'm not expecting to hear anything revolutionary back. I'm not really expecting to hear anything back, but just trying to kind of get it so that they remember us favourably. If they get another offer, they can still see us in their minds and know that we are interested in the house, and hopefully not just move on without talking to us. I'm not a patient person, so this is a difficult process. I've spoken to the agent selling our house today, and we have a viewing on Saturday coming. It's now Monday, so in just under a week, and then we have another viewing next weekend. Hopefully something will come of that. They have hinted that the house price that we've put the house on for is probably about right, because we're getting interest, because we had thought maybe it wouldn't generate enough interest, but we've had interest in it, so that's nice. So it's just kind of a case of watching and waiting, really, and I'm not a very patient person, so this is torture. It's an unfamiliar process, and it's not going entirely as I'd hoped, because I think we'd kind of hoped that they'd let us have a second viewing. We've made an offer, and they've kind of put the brakes on, which I wasn't expecting. I thought they would negotiate with us, or, you know, say, actually your offer's not good enough, do better. I didn't at any point foresee them saying, actually, we're not even going to negotiate at this point, we want your house sold. I didn't, and that might be naive of me, but I didn't see that coming. Guess we just wait and cross our fingers that no one else buys this house in the meantime. I'm trying not to get my hopes up too much, because I do think that in this situation we might lose the house, because it's a really nice house. I don't think it will just sit on the market for another few weeks while we hopefully get viewings and hopefully an offer on our house. I don't think this house is going to sit on the market. Anyway, that's my update. I'll keep you posted. Hello you guys, so I have just been filming a video, and I just thought while I've got my camera set up I would update you regarding all things house. So still waiting basically. Really struggling with this weight now. Yeah, there's literally no update, and that's really hard. We have 2 viewings on our house though this weekend. So yeah, 2 viewings on Saturday. It's now Wednesday. So I'm really hoping that these viewings are good and that they are kind of received well. I'm not anticipating offers. It would be nice if they did offer on it, but it's nice that we've had some interest. There's another couple interested in viewing next week. They're on holiday this week, so I think they're going to try and arrange a viewing next week at some point. But it's nice that there's interest, because I think we thought it might be on for too much money. So yeah, just got to kind of cross our fingers and see, but hopefully one of these will prove to be our buyer.